Hey guys, so today this video is going to be split into two parts. In the first part I want to talk about the books I read in April, and in the second part I want to talk about how I organize my books, because I find I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys asking how I do organize them and how I decide to put books where they go, and ultimately how I like to keep them in my bookshelf. I sent out a tweet about a couple of weeks ago asking you guys to guess the topic of my video based on a picture that I included with the tweet, and that picture was of a scene from Romeo and Juliet, and of course I wanted you guys to guess the book I was going to talk about for my last review, if you guys have seen that. So I sent a question asking, guys, if you can guess this, I will mention you in my video. So there were two people who guessed correctly what book I'd be talking about, which was Julian Immortal. So the first person who guessed the book correctly was Braiden. I'll mention his Twitter first. His Twitter is @livingthrougharts. His book blog is bookprobereviews.com, so if you want to check that out as well, it's really, really cool and awesome, and I love his banner. It's just altogether a really great blog. And also his YouTube channel, if you want to check out his videos, is Son of Stage and Page. And then the second person that guessed it was a girl named Emily, and her Twitter is @kfactorreads. And also, if you want to check out her blog, it is kfactorreads.blogspot.com. Alright guys, so I'm going to talk about the books I read in April first, and April wasn't a very good month for me reading-wise. March was an amazing month. I had read 8 books, but in April I only ended up reading 3 books. The first book I read in April is The Death Cure by James Dashner, and this is the third and final book in the Maze Runner trilogy. I felt like the first book was ultimately my favorite. The Maze Runner did such a good job of introducing all the characters and building up this incredible setting. So when it came down to this book, I thought it was really, really good, but it wasn't my favorite. Overall, I thought it did an amazing job of concluding the series and summing everything up that we've been wondering about and tying all the loose ends, but still leaving us with some more questions. James Dashner is an amazing author, and I was so privileged and so honored to be part of this adventure with his characters. It's something that I've never experienced before, and I'm sad to see the series end, but I think I did hear somewhere that there's going to be a prequel to this whole series. So definitely check out the first book, which is The Maze Runner. If you have not, I can't tell you what happens in this book, but just know, if you're interested in reading this and have not, that everything that you've ever wanted is revealed. There's some sad moments, there's some happy moments, but in the end, I was just overall pleased with how everything ended, and I couldn't have asked for more, so definitely 5 out of 5 stars for The Death Cure by James Dashner. The only thing I really, really loved about this book was definitely the love interest and the kind of crush that the main character has. I thought he was definitely one of my favorites, if not my most favorite male character she has ever written about. And yeah, so I think he was the strong point, as well as how the plot incorporates with the development of the characters and how that influences their relationship together and her friends and everything all together. Sarah Dessen is such a great writer, so it's hard not to like them. Of course, I really did like this, but like I said, it's just not one of my favorites compared to her other novels. Remy is a very harsh character, and this is because she has these walls built around her and doesn't let people come too close to her, especially guys, and she doesn't let guys become serious with her because of her mother's relationship experience. So Remy has grown up seeing these father figures enter their house and then ultimately leave in the end, and divorce has been the outcome for as long as she's known, and it has affected her relationships because she just believes love ultimately ends with sadness, so that's why she doesn't get serious with too many guys. So Remy meets a boy named Dexter, and before you know it, they are together and they're in a relationship. Even after Remy rejected him, he was determined to be with her in the end. Before it's time to give Dexter the usual speech she gives guys, she can't bring herself to dump him because there's just something about him that she is attracted to and wants to be around all the time. He's the opposite of her. He's messy, he's unorganized, he doesn't tie his shoelaces, but everything, even though that's the opposite of her, she's drawn to it and she can't leave his side. It's pretty much Remy's development throughout the whole book to come to realize that love can work out in the end if you find the right person and things like that, but she obviously has to learn that through ups and downs. Overall, it was good in that sense. I really like the idea of love not working, but ultimately working when you least expect it. So I'd say definitely check it out. A lot of you may love this book. I liked it, but not one of my favorites, but definitely check it out if you like her books because it's still worth the read. Alright, so the last book I'm going to talk about is the last book I read in April, and that was Julian Immortal by Stacey J. And if you wish to know how I like this book in more depth, depth and want to know what this book is about in more depth, then definitely check out my review. I will post a link in the down bar. And yeah, so this is a great book. It is a retelling of the classic tale known as Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. This isn't exactly a modern retelling. Stacey J incorporates the characters and twists their feelings around for each other and mixes it with different elements to create a plot that's geared toward YA readers and brings all these components together that are very different. So no, it's not like Romeo loves Juliet again. Ultimately, they hate each other in this book, and you'll find out why. I gave it a 5 out of 5 and I loved it. So even if you didn't like Romeo and Juliet, I would still check this out because there are a lot of elements that make it so different, and you can't help but love it because there are just so many unique things about it, and it's so enjoyable, full of mystery, action, suspense, and even romance there tied in with Juliet's story. So definitely check it out. Like I said, if you want to know the full plot and how I liked it into more depth, then definitely check out my review. So like I said, the last part of this video is going to be me talking about how I organize my books. Now there's not a lot that goes into it, and as you can see here, I have my main section that I like to keep colorful and organized for my videos because, you know, it looks nice as a background, and ultimately I like to keep them as the same height and have the taller ones off to the side a little bit. All I want is pretty much in this section for there to be books that are new and that I recently got, so it keeps kind of this section up to date and kind of fresh all the time for my videos. So if you see new books here, that's purposely done so you guys can see what's new in my shelf. And also, I like to keep books with a cool spine so it looks nicer in my videos as well. Of course, I will keep authors together. So if I have multiple books by Stephanie Perkins, I'm going to keep them all together here. If I have multiple books by Christian Cashore, I'm going to put them all together. I don't go into crazy detail about organizing. I don't organize alphabetically or anything crazy like that. Honestly, I put books where I want them to put them, like where I feel like it. So all there is to it is I put series all together. I put authors' books all together. So like Scott Westerfield, I'll put his Ugly series with his Midnighter series with all of his standalones. If I don't like a book, I'm not going to keep it here. I'm not going to keep it in a visible spot. I'm going to put it somewhere back there where I can't really reach it and don't want to retrieve it if I need it, because I'm not going to need it if I didn't like it. And more up here, I also have some color coordination. I also like to organize my books like that too. If I have a lot of bright colors, I put them together. So here I have a lot of red. So I have 3 spots within my room where I put my books, and if you want to see those spots, definitely check out my bookshelf tour. So if you see a book from the outside and you see it clearly, chances are I loved it, or chances are I haven't read it. So that's why things change around from video to video, as I buy new books and replace some I didn't like and kind of give my books a turn. But primarily the books in here are ones that I love, the newer ones, and some of the older ones are in the other corners of my room. For example, I just got Bitter Blue by Christian Cashore, and I decided to put all 3 together by Christian Cashore because I love the color of the blue. So I put them all together so they look nice and we're all together in a little family instead of being separated all throughout my bookshelf. So that's all that pretty much goes into my organizing. There's no strict rule that I have. It's honestly, I put books here if I feel like it and I feel like they should go here for my videos, or if I love them, then this is ultimately where they go, or if they go here. At the top is more of the books I liked or books I have not read, but if I really, really love them, then they go here. So if you guys want to know new books I have ended up loving, definitely check out this row and ask me some questions if you have any, because I'll definitely let you know. I hope that helped you, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video overall. Thank you to everyone for commenting, subscribing, and doing that awesome stuff. So if you have any requests for videos, definitely leave them in the comments. If you have any questions, leave them on Formspring, and if you have anything to tweet me, follow me on Twitter. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in my next video.